Hello and welcome. Welcome to Majesty Sussex Report. I'm Antonio. It is my pleasure and honor to have you join us on or in this podcast. I do hope you will enjoy it. It's on chapter 4 of OMID SCOBIE's book, Endgame. I'm doing a summary and also a little bit of a commentary. And the usual stuff, as I usually say at the beginning, if you are new around here, and please stick around, check out our content. If you like it, do subscribe. We have a drive right now which trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before end of month. So we enter into the new year with 1,000. And thumbs up to like and leave a comment, as long as it's not hateful. And as long as it's not there to incite a reaction from the community, it's all good. And so, what's funny, I was going to say this and then, let's go right into the review. I finished doing the intro, and before I come on Mike Live, I'm watching the intro go thing, and I got really sad. I really do. I really did. Sorry. Or I really am. I don't know. I'm confusing my tenses now. Watching Prince Harry and Meghan, because that's one of their final, their final engagement, and to see how that applause and it so moved him. I can just imagine what he was feeling. All the vitriol, all the stuff that him and Meghan had to put up with. And now, they're in the final stretch. And if they only knew, there was still more coming. But everything happens for a reason, and in God's grace, and we're there right now. And off of the excitement of that first case, verdict coming down, and in Harry's favor, damn, just awesome. So anyways, enough about me, and let's get it on. Chapter 4. Remembrance of Things Past. The ongoing campaign to make the royals great again. In this opening page of Chapter 4, OMID SCOBIE vividly describes the pomp and ceremony of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration on June 2nd, 2022. This event marked a major milestone, 70 years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. The scene is set with a picturesque view from Buckingham Palace, looking down the Mall in central London. The royal family, including Charles, Camilla, William, Kate, Edward, Sophie, and their children, is described as gathered on the palace balcony, partaking in the traditional trooping of the coloured parade. The ambience of celebratory with Union Jacks fluttering in the breeze and a crowd of well-wishers and tourists lining the streets, capturing a moment of history. SCOBIE reflects on the royal family's ability to create such grand, unifying spectacles, especially in the wake of recent turbulent years. This particular day is presented as a much-needed respite and a perfect opportunity to rebrand and reinvigorate the royal image. SCOBIE, reporting for ABC News in partnership with the BBC, had exclusive access to the events. He recounts the sense of excitement and pride among those involved in organizing the Jubilee, including performers like Ed Sheeran, who expressed his honor in paying tribute to the monarch and the late Duke of Edinburgh. The Queen's communications secretaries also expressed pride in the event's success. Scobie noting the almost reunion-like atmosphere among journalists and TV crews who have come together from around the world to cover this significant royal occasion. Even for Scobie, known for his more critical take on the royal family, the grandeur and significance of such events are undeniable and hard not to appreciate. Scobie's reflection on the historical significance and the business aspects of covering major royal events. He describes the financial constraints media companies face, but notes that this wasn't apparent in the plush setting of Good Morning America's studio near Buckingham Palace. The conversation highlights the royal family's proficiency in image advertising and reputational management, particularly under Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Scobie emphasizes that Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip were adept at crafting visuals to enhance the monarchy's public value. He notes their deliberate avoidance of the term strategy, with Prince Philip even comparing the overuse of the word to Hitler and Stalin. Despite this, the Queen demonstrated an instinctive understanding of marketing and its importance in maintaining the monarchy's relevance. The Queen's ability to manage the family brand discreetly and effectively is contrasted with the less successful attempts of her children and grandchildren. Scobie cites examples of the monarchy's image suffering due to self-inflicted wounds, such as Prince Andrew's controversies and the fallout from Princess Diana's death. However, Scobie also acknowledges the monarchy's ability to project a healthy image through well-timed empathy and resolve. He mentions the Queen's visit to Aberfan, Wales, after the tragic mining accident, and her introduction of the walkabout in Australia, allowing her to connect more personally with the public. Scobie also highlights the grand royal weddings, which bolstered the family's image globally. Throughout her reign, the Queen consistently rose above familiar squabbles and societal turmoil, evolving her projected image from a fresh-faced post-World War II monarch to a sagacious maternal figure in later years. Scobie acknowledges that while the Queen was not perfect, she masterfully sold the idea of living a life close to perfection, thereby enhancing her popularity and masking Britain's relative decline. Scobie noting that the Queen and her institutional backers expertly maintained an image of serenity while quietly reinventing the monarch's public representation as the British Empire waned and Great Britain lost its colonies. OMID discusses the changing role of the British monarchy in response to the country's evolving global and domestic status. He points out how major events like the Falkland War, Tony Blair's interventions in Afghanistan and Iraq, and Brexit shifted Britain's focus from international prominence to domestic interests. This shift led the royal family to recalibrate their image from imperial representatives to symbols of British continuity and tradition. Queen Elizabeth II and her advisors adeptly navigated these changes, transforming the monarchy from an emblem of empire to a symbol of civic duty and Britishness, primarily focusing on England. Scobie notes that the Queen's role evolved into that of a national icon, embodying traditional British values, while the Commonwealth countries and Scotland considered more independent paths. The royal family's adaptation to these changes also involved embracing what political theorist Tom Nairn described as a glamour of backwardness, a glorification of past aristocratic ways represented as national emblem. This strategy linked the monarchy's heritage with a form of sentimental nationalism, creating a sense of stability and continuity amidst rapid global changes. Scobie also explores how nostalgia is a powerful tool often used by governments and movements to advance agendas. He cites examples like Boris Johnson's Brexit campaign, which leveraged nostalgia for rural British ideals, and Donald Trump's Make America Great Again movement, which played on similar sentiments in the United States. Scobie suggests that the British monarchy, in its efforts to maintain relevant and maintain its symbolic position, has effectively utilized nostalgia, drawing upon historical blueprints and their own unique strategies to adapt to the changing cultural and political landscape of the UK. He continues to explore the theme of how the British monarchy, particularly under Queen Elizabeth II, has adeptly leveraged nostalgia and patriotism as a means to maintain its relevance and connection with the public. Scobie highlights the Queen's ability to become a symbol of British Englishness, reflecting national myth and cultural touchstones through her ubiquitous presence in the country's iconography. Scobie notes that Queen Elizabeth II, who spanned much of the 20th and early 21st centuries, used her longevity and the respect it commanded to bolster the royal family's image. Her presence during key historical movements such as World War II and various national crises, along with her representation on currency, stamps, and in art, helped to embed her as a symbol of national resilience and continuity. The author discusses how the Queen's image was carefully cultivated to conjure an assemblage of national myths and stereotypes, making her a central figure in the nation's collective understanding of itself. Scobie describes her as symbolizing various facets of British culture, from fortitude in times of adversity to elegance and courtliness. Moreover, the royal family use of patriotic display and the celebration of national identity are highlighted as effective tools in maintaining their relevance. He points out that these displays were once apolitical, celebrating the monarchy regardless of ideological allegiances. He also notes that the family involvement in military and national service, as seen with Prince Harry, served to reinforce their image positively, aligning them with national pride and service. Scobie suggests that the monarchy's ability to harness patriotism and nostalgia has been a key factor in preserving its image and appeal. However, he also intimates that an over-reliance on these sentiments might limit the institution's adaptability and relevance in a rapidly changing world. He devolves into the royal family use of Prince Harry's military service as a public relations boost and the intertwining of royalism with nationalism. The palace release details of Harry's time in Afghanistan through controlled channels, and it became known that Harry had ended several Taliban fighters. This revelation was a significant PR win for the royal family, bolstering their image as a symbol of wartime national pride. Scobie explains that how the royal family has historically seized opportunities to demonstrate their value through various patriotic and grand events, such as the Queen's Golden Jubilee in 2002 and other major celebrations. These events, replete with fireworks, concerts, and television specials, have helped keep the monarchy in the public eye. However, as Queen Elizabeth II's reign concluded, and with increasing family infighting, the monarchy's ability to maintain this united, grand image began to wane. Scobie suggests that King Charles III's reign is unlikely to reach the same level of national treasure status as his mother's, with aides acknowledging his lesser popularity. Furthermore, recent incidents such as eggs thrown at King Charles in Yorkshire and Lytton highlight growing public opposition to his reign. These events contrast sharply with Queen Elizabeth II's experience, who rarely faced such direct public dissent. Scobie notes that current economic crisis and reputational challenges are leading to less tolerance among the public for royal extravagance and drama. He concludes that while the Queen's representation of the monarchy resonated with national values, King Charles' reign does not evoke the same sentiment, indicating a challenging path ahead for the royal family in maintaining their image and relevance. In the chapter coming to its conclusion, Scobie discusses the challenges King Charles III faces in connecting with the public and maintaining the royal family's relevance, especially among young people or the young generations. He notes that the positive opinion of the royal family in the UK dropped significantly after Queen Elizabeth II died. This decline is attributed to Charles' lack of gravitas compared to his mother's towering reputation. Scobie also points out the royal family's struggle to resonate with younger demographics like millennials, Gen Z or Gen Z, and future generations. He mentions that while Harry and Meghan brought a fresh perspective and connected with young people, their departure has left a void. William and Kate, despite their slightly older millennials, have not been as successful in engaging with younger audiences, with their attempts sometimes seeming contrived. The author argues that the younger generations, characterized by their progressive views and desire for inclusion and diversity, find the traditional royal family increasingly irrelevant. In contrast to the Queen's ability to rally public support through her symbolic power, the royal events and appearances now seem insincere and rehearsed without her present. Scobie concludes by suggesting that although William and Kate are seen as the future of the monarchy, they have yet to demonstrate how they will adapt and remain relevant in a rapidly changing world. The author implies that the royal family may continue to rely on traditional approaches, which may not resonate with a society that is moving towards more open, diverse, and modern values.
A Christmas photo released by the royal family features a bad Photoshop job where Prince Louis's finger appears to be missing. And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
OMID SCOBIE's portrayal of the British monarchy in Chapter 4 of Endgame provides a candid and critical examination of the institution's current challenges. The monarchy historically is a symbol of stability and tradition, is now facing a crucial test of its adaptability and relevance. Scobie's analysis suggests a monarchy caught in a delicate balancing act, preserving its historical allure while trying to stay pertinent in a society that is rapidly changing. The struggle to resonate with younger generations who are more socially and culturally aware underscores a significant generational shift in values and expectations. The author's critique extends to the individual members of the royal family, particularly King Charles III and his heir, William and Kate. Their efforts to connect with the public, while well-intended, often appears out of step with the contemporary zeitgeist. This dissonance highlights the widening gap between the monarchy's traditionalist image and the progressive ethos of modern Britain. Scobie's commentary urges the royal family to recognize and adapt to these societal changes. The monarchy's survival may depend on its ability to evolve, embracing diversity and inclusivity, and reflecting the values of a new generation. Failure to do so risk further alienating the public, especially the youth, and diminishing the monarchy's relevance in a country that is increasingly questioning its role and its purpose.
The court has ruled that unlawful and criminal activities were carried out at all three Mirror Group newspaper titles, The Mirror, The Sunday Mirror and The People, on a habitual and widespread basis for over more than a decade. I'd like to thank my legal team for so successfully dismantling the sworn testimony of Mirror Group's senior executives, legal department and journalists who at least turned up to court, unlike their colleagues who were perhaps too afraid to do so. This case is not just about hacking. It is about a systemic practice of unlawful and appalling behaviour, followed by cover-ups and destruction of evidence, the shocking scale of which can only be revealed through these proceedings. The court has found that Mirror Group's principal board directors, their legal department, senior executives and editors such as Piers Morgan clearly knew about or were involved in these illegal activities. Between them, they even went as far as lying under oath to Parliament during the Leveson inquiry, to the Stock Exchange and to us all ever since. The journey to justice can be a slow and painful one, and since bringing my claim almost 5 years ago, defamatory stories and intimidating tactics have been deployed against me and at my family's expense. And so, as I too have learned through this process, patience is in fact a virtue, especially in the face of vendetta journalism. I hope that the court's findings will serve as a warning to all media organisations who have employed these practices and then similarly lied about them. Mirror Group's actions were so calculated and misleading that their pattern of destroying evidence and concealing their unlawful behaviour continued into the litigation itself, and as the judge has ruled, even to this day. I am happy to have won the case, especially given that this trial only looked at a quarter of my entire claim. Even on just that, it is clear Mirror Group's persistent attempts to suggest that my claim was, to quote their counsel, fantastical, in the realms of total speculation, and there was simply no evidence at all to suggest I was hacked. Zilch, zero, nil, nada, niente, absolutely nothing. All of that was total nonsense and was used maliciously to attack my character and credibility. However, as Mirror Group intended, those hollow sound bites were blasted across front pages and across online platforms and into the next day's morning television shows. The court has in fact confirmed that all four claimants were subjected to voicemail interception and unlawful information gathering, but no one would have believed that was the case given how this trial was covered in the UK. My commitment to seeing this case through is based on my belief in our need and collective right to a free and honest press, and one which is properly accountable when necessary. That is what we need in Britain and across the globe. Anything else is poisoning the well for a profession we all depend on. The acts listed in this judgment are prime examples of what happens when the power of the press is abused. I respectfully call upon the authorities, the financial regulator, the stock market, who were deliberately deceived by Mirror Group, and indeed the Metropolitan Police and prosecuting authorities, to do their duty for the British public and to investigate bringing charges against the company and those who have broken the law. Today's ruling is vindicating and affirming. I've been told that slaying dragons will get you burned, but in light of today's victory and the importance of doing what is needed for a free and honest press, it is a worthwhile price to pay. The mission continues.
We ran wild through every season, lit a fire to warm the world. A love so easy to believe in. You're saying I'm your favorite girl. We were open and unwritten. All I see is all you are. Every day a new beginning, waking up inside your arms. And I'm still holding on. Every light that's faded once burned so bright we chased it farther than we ever thought we could go. Even with time's changing, you're the one I've waited all my life to get to know. Let's go. Oh, you're looking out the window. How could anyone understand You're